Okay, so we have the Growatt Wi-Fi stick, and we're going to show you guys how to program that. I've had a bunch of different, concerns and questions about how people should set them up. There's an app that they released for Android and iPhone, and I'm going to show you guys the brute force method for doing this. It's based on the web browser and a computer or your cell phone. You could use an iPhone. You're just going to set up the network and then log in and use the IP system. So anyway, if you aren't familiar with this already, we have the Wi-Fi stick that came with your inverter, and it has a few screws in it, a couple screws here that mount in the two holes. So when you insert this stick into the inverter, you're going to have, it's a little loose, it can fall off. You want to just put these screws on here. I'm not going to do it for the video right now because we're sort of just setting this up. Now, if you'll come around over here, you'll see on the side of this inverter, there's a light, orange light flashing on the side of the stick. Now, that light is going to flash orange when it's communicating to the inverter, but not communicating to the internet. This is what you don't want to see. So for initial setup, you take some kind of hairpin, some kind of a paper clip, and you go in and press in the button right here. Just one quick tap. If you hold down, it'll reset itself. So let me just reach in here. So one quick tap and it should go blue. You can see that light just turned blue. And once it's turned blue, you have set up a hotspot coming out of the stick. Now, if you come over here to a computer, you're going to see a new network come up. This network is going to have the stick serial number on it. See, it says DDD0A350DU. That's the inverter's serial number on the stick. So we're going to connect to it. Now, Windows is going to be a little confused because obviously there's no internet in this network. And once we connect to it, we're going to try to log in using the IP address 192.168.10.100. You can see that here on the screen. That's what we typed in on that line. Now the username is admin. The default password is 123456778. Pretty secure. And if you log in, you're going to come to a main menu. Now, your screen, I've seen this happen. It'll go white. And in order to really be able to use it, you have to hit F5. So we're going to refresh, and then the screen comes right up. So on the wireless router setting, we're going to be dealing with selecting the router name that we want. Now, the router I'm going to use here is called Signature Solar. That's our main router here over at the shop. I've got a password, which we're going to enter, which is 999-441-2090. Okay. So when we hit apply, it's going to send this information back to the stick. It says set successfully, restart to use new setting. We're going to restart immediately so it logs us back out. Now if we go and look at what does the stick think right now? It's on a solid green light. It's rebooting. It's restarting. It's trying to connect to the Wi-Fi, but it comes back up as blue. Blue and flashing. Well, that's because it's actually connected to the internet right now. So if we go and log in, what we're going to see now is we can go to the main server, the Growatt server, which is server.growatt.com, and this is the cloud server that all these inverters talk to. And we have an account, and what I'm going to do is try to add this inverter to one of the accounts. So I've got a system here. We call it test bench. Let's add this data logger. So the data logger has got a serial number and a check code. It's on the side of the box. It's also on the side of data logger, but I'm not going to go and pull that back out of the inverter. So serial number DDD0A350DU. And the check code we've got is 5E446. Okay, we're going to assign it to the test bench plant. Operation successful. So that was assigned. Now, currently, the connection status is lost. So that shows that what we did on the original setup has not yet applied. So let's go back and see what we're dealing with here. I see we still have the hotspot, so maybe we didn't quite, that operation didn't quite work. Let's see what we can do here. Go back into the 192.168.10.100. Disconnect from that other network. One of the things that I have found with these is they can take a few minutes to actually connect to the server. So let's go back and see if that's just started speaking. I'm going to go and use an IP searcher. Okay, so we're just going to go ahead and scan the main network here that we connected to. It was very likely that this did connect. It may take about 5 minutes for it to start posting towards the server. So I've just got a basic IP scanner program. This one's advanced IP. It's a free download, and I'm scanning the main network. This is a DHCP standard, so it's going to be dynamically allocated. We've got a lot of different things at the shop, so it's going to take a second before it picks it all up. One of the things to sort of keep watching while you're doing this is the actual server. It looks like this one, the 350DU, which is what we're looking for. It is connected. So we see its connection status of connected. So let's go and have a look at dashboard. So it's showing discharge charge. It would start, power from the grid is 0, charge power 0 watts. Low, it shows it has a low battery, which is what we have right now. And one of the most important factors about being able to use a remote monitoring system is if you can go and change the settings of the inverter. So if we go down here and we go to the one this one here says discharge. This is the live one. And you'll notice the serial number on the side of this inverter shows up there. And this ends in 2038. We have 2038 right here as the device serial number. And of course the data logger number is correct. We can hit the setting button. And all of the settings that you see here are on this screen of this inverter. So we can remotely change. Let's change this inverter to 60 hertz. Now, if you'll notice, at the bottom of this prompt, it says, please enter key to save. So there is a Growatt password format to change this. I believe it is, hold on one second. So their password format for entering this key in to change these settings remotely is lowercase Growatt. And then the year, 2020, the month, 11, and the day, which it's the 16th. And you hit yes, and we see it says it's been changed successfully. So let's watch this inverter. Go to the settings screen here. And see what hertz that we're seeing come over here. $60 hertz on the inverter. Out of the box, it's 50. So already we see that right there having been changed. Let's go and change the AC output of the inverter. See, we have just every setting in the inverter is available here. So this is something, you know, that can be changed remotely. If you install systems for people and you want to change the maximum AC current, you want to change the constant voltage, float voltage, anything you want to change, you can do remotely. And this just communicates over the internet. So it's a really robust design. You have full operational control of the inverter through the internet. And that's really how simple it is. It's just, don't fool around with those apps. Just use an IP server basis on a computer or a phone. Follow the instructions here. You can play the video again, and that should answer most of you guys' questions.